Great. So I'm with Jude Darcy, guidance counsellor in Creah College in Wexford. Jude, different times, very different conditions, and obviously so much negativity out there. But we were talking about the fact that actually this could be the start of something new for Leaving Cert students right now.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. A new beginning.
So for all the Leaving Cert students out there right now who are, they're drained and they're a little bit demoralized and, everything's been pushed out to the end of July, what would you say to them?
I suppose what I would be saying to the Leaving Cert now is that, the last few months have obviously been very difficult for lots of students. Some have adjusted very easily and they just got on with it, while others would have found it more difficult. I think, like all of us, we've all had to adjust. Teachers, students, people at home. It's a whole new life for the whole world. So it's no mean feat by adjusting. So give yourselves a clap on the back, wherever you're at right now, and be proud of yourself. And it is what it is. So I suppose with the new time frame that we've been given is, for me, a new beginning, in a sense that we know the 29th of July is the date, and it gives us time, and we have time, and it's really important to recognise you have time. So whatever has happened in the last few months has happened, and put it behind you, and start again, start afresh, and every day is a new beginning, and not to forget that. So if yesterday's study schedule didn't go as well, that's okay. You start again today. And keep believing in yourself. And that's probably one of the most important things, and not to give up. That grit, the grit that is so important in life. And that's what you're going to probably look out for now over the next few months, is the ability to get up each day, to start again, to log into your teachers, to connect. Really, really important to connect with your teachers. And it's like in any school situation, the last 2 months is where an awful lot of work will be done. Students would be able to do so much more work in these last 2 months, and you'll do the same. You will do the very same for the next 2 months. You will work and work and work, and you have that ability to do it. You've been doing it for all these years. So just to keep believing in yourself.
And that's a big part of it, is mindset, isn't it? It's a big part.
Yeah, it is. And whatever you do, whatever you achieve, that's okay. It's just really, really important to take a breath, to sort of think about what it is that you're looking to achieve, to think about your goals, what it is that you want from this. When you're sitting down on the 29th of July, starting your exams, that you'll be able to look back over the last few months, the last few years, and say, right, I've done my best, whatever that is, and you just get in there and get your exams done, and you move on in your life. And to feel proud of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously this year's cohort are facing very different conditions to other year groups, but maybe in a different way. They're actually building bigger and better life skills.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I suppose one of the huge aspects of life skills is the ability to be able to work at home, and doing this on your own at home as such, having the ability, the motivation to get up every day, pick out those books, turn those pages and start writing or start typing or start reading. That's the hardest part for lots of people, is just to actually have that start. And if you're in a school situation, you're sitting in a classroom and it's much easier, teachers telling you what to do, where now you're doing that by yourself. And lots of times you only get to do that when you hit college, or you go and you do your apprenticeship, where you're actually doing that now just a little bit sooner than you would as a third level student, or somebody who's gone on to do training or whatever. So you're just a bit ahead of the cohort. That's huge, and it takes huge maturity to be able to do that.
And what you're really talking about is their self-directed learning. So being able to...
Yes, self-directed learning.
Because a lot of students will be concerned right now, the course hasn't finished, they've lost contact with their teacher, they're having to finish off the courses themselves. Any advice to them around that?
Yeah. No, but your teachers are there. Your teachers are connecting with you every day online, and they're more than willing and they're like you, they want for you to achieve as well. Very much so. And it's just really important to connect every day with your class, with your teachers, through the teams. And that facility is there, and use it. Use it. It's really, really important that you use that. And that will help to motivate you because number one, you'll be connected. You're listening to the lesson being given out. You're listening to what you need to hear. You need the information you need to get. And then, as normal, you go on and you do the next piece of work yourself. And that's what you're used to going and doing your evening study. That's not new to you. So what is new is connecting over a laptop, and that is new. But the more you do it, the more normal it will become for you. So it won't be, at the end of this, your new norm will have been taught through Teams, connecting with your teachers and the other students through Teams, and that's okay. In the end, it's all about getting the information, learning the information, and then for you to be able to apply it through your exams.
Any advice to students that are obviously working at home in a busy house, and you know what it's like to be in a very busy house, and there's people in different rooms, there's noises. I have a little alarm going off here in the background, which is annoying me right now, and people are competing for broadband and you can't log in. Any advice for students around working at home?
Listen, let's be real. It's not easy. My daughter is singing Frozen in there to top her voice at the moment, which I can hear her, and it's, that's reality. It's real. So what I have had to do for myself is to adjust how I am in the house, so I can try and get the best out of what I need to be doing, in terms of my own work. So we've sort of came up with a plan in the house where I have the kitchen for a few hours in the morning. But that means that sort of everybody's up and got their breakfast and out of the kitchen. And my other daughter, she has the sitting room for a few hours. And my other daughter, she's upstairs doing her exams, so that's what we've done. We've came up with a plan. Now, obviously, every day it changes slightly, and that's okay. That's okay if it changes. But we're doing our best. So it's taking it one day at a time. And if it doesn't work well today, that's fine. I don't throw it all away and say, oh, sure, that's it now for the week, I can't do anything. No. What I do is the next day back, start again, and try again. And that's what's really important. So if you get an hour done today, well done to you. If you get 2 hours or 3 or 4 or 5 hours, fantastic. But just don't give up on it. Don't use it as an excuse, because it's too easy to use that as an excuse. And we all could. But remember, this is your Leaving Cert. And in the end, it's going to be you and your life. So we can remember, we'll all have excuses. There's no chance about that. But just to keep at it. That's the thing, is to keep at it every day. Go back at it and believe in yourself. Me doing this interview is first time ever, and it's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And again, this is about me believing in myself. And if I can do this, I can promise you can all get in there and do your bit of work, And
it's about taking on fears, because
actually that's what I was applying, and it is fearful. All of it is fearful, and in the end, you can either let the fear drive you or you drive the fear. And I know that's probably easy for me to say. It's not easy to say. It's not easy really to say, to be honest. We all have fears. And the only way to actually beat a fear is to take it on. And that is reality. If you're fearful about and you're feeling overwhelmed about it all, that's okay. It's okay to feel that. And you have every right to feel it. So, but it's what do you do with it? Do you sit in it and does it let it consume you and take it over? Or do you try and deal with it one piece at a time? Well, obviously the first thing is talk to somebody. Talk to somebody, tell them about your fears, tell them what's overwhelming you. Do that, that's the first piece. And then put something into action yourself that can help you. You've lived a life. You've had lots of fears and you've gotten over them. and you will get over this as well.
Any advice to, and some students out there will be feeling lots of anxiety, and whether that's around what's obviously happening from a health perspective. You know, some people have family in the front lines and working through this, and then there's the fear of, you know, the exams themselves and being overwhelmed and being unorganized and disorganized right now. Any advice for students with anxiety right now?
So I suppose if you're feeling anxiety, I'd say probably 3/4 of the world is feeling anxiety. You're among many, many, many other people feeling it. And anxiety is probably part of all our lives. It comes and it goes. We have different levels of anxiety, and you might get up in the morning and be feeling great, and next thing you start feeling anxious. Remember that the anxiety comes from your thoughts. So I suppose it's about noticing that when you go into that space of feeling anxious, that, okay, so I'm feeling a bit anxious, I wonder where did that come from? And becoming aware of yourself. And you can deal with the anxiety by by noticing what you're thinking. And remember that thoughts are not facts. Just because you're feeling anxiety or you might be having these negative thoughts, it's just because you're having it doesn't mean it's real. And you have a choice on your thoughts. And you can choose to stay in those thoughts and the anxiety that comes from them, or you can choose to change the way you're thinking. And you can do that. And we have that power over ourselves. Now, it takes a bit of time. Anxiety can be very serious, and it can take you down, and it does take you down. But you have an awful lot more power over anxiety than you think. I use, and all the kids in school know, I talk a lot about mindfulness. And mindfulness has transformed my life. And just by, for me, I take a breath. I put the pause button on. I try and just relax a little bit. And by relaxing, I can think a lot more clearer. I can notice what I'm thinking. And when I start noticing that those negative thoughts are coming into my head, I actually literally say to myself, okay, I don't give out to myself. I have compassion. I say, okay, they're there, those negative thoughts are there, but I make a decision. Am I going to stay with it and I want to feel sorry for myself a little bit? Well, maybe that's okay. Maybe I need to feel sorry for myself a little bit, and that's okay. But I don't want it to take over my day. I don't want it to consume my whole morning that I'd put out. Because all you do is feel a little bit worse about yourself if I don't try and achieve the little goal that I've had, out there for myself. So what I do then is wave hello to it. It is what it is, acknowledge it, and then, okay, so now off you go. And I try and bring something else in that's a little bit more positive. And I use my breathing technique to do that. Others might need a walk. Others might need to put on some music, have a chat to a friend, play a game, have a zone out, a little bit of time out, but then you bring yourself back. You don't lose what you had decided to do that morning, because then you're sort of defeating the purpose. And you come back and you sit down, and you said it, Ray, at one of your talks, and it was amazing, really, because it's so real and it's so simple. The hardest part is taking out that book and just opening it and starting to read and write. But once you do, you're in. And the more you do it, the more it'll become your normal. And it will. And it's about believing that you can. And you deserve it. You've done all these years in school. You deserve to finish this now the best way you can.
And that's a great point, because I think for some people they're paralyzed right now, and it's a thing of feeling it's gone too far, there's not enough time, whereas it is sitting down, taking out your favorite subject. Always start with your favorite subject. And I talk about the minimum, almost like the minimum dose. That's why my 30 sessions my study sessions are 30 minutes long, because it's once you start that 30 minutes, that's the hardest part, and then you go into the next.
Once you're in. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's really, really hard to get started. But we all know that. And you know what? That's about digging deep. That's the grit piece.
Mm-hmm.
Grit is you can't underestimate the importance of it. Taking out that bloody pen and that book and the bag, setting yourself up and just do it. Just go and do it. Write something, read something, just do it. Take out the exam paper and start writing. You're in.
It's a bit like this interview where we just said, let's do it. Let's turn on the camera and go. And here we are. So and I know myself doing assignments, it's sitting down, opening up the book and just starting. And once that first step happens,
and it's the same for everybody. You know, that's the thing. Once you get in and you start doing your work, you have that same feeling of feeling good about yourself and that little bit of success that you spent that 10 minutes and it's something else done. And make sure, tick it off. If you achieve something, you tick it off. That's really, really important. Tick it off. It's another thing done, another piece achieved. And on you go to the next one. And on and on and on. Is
there anything particularly for this week you would suggest for students to focus on for this particular week to get them, to help them?
Well, for students who are working away, well done to you. And there are lots and lots and lots of students who are sitting down, they have their routines set up, and it's fantastic. For those students who are just feeling a little bit all over the place and overwhelmed, and again I'm saying it, and rightly so, it's again about digging deep and saying to yourself, okay, I've done this for all these years, I can start again. So put a line in the sand. It didn't matter what you did yesterday, last week, the last few months, whatever it is. And sit down, think about maybe putting a study schedule in place for yourself. That's maybe the first thing. It doesn't have to be 20 hours a day. Put something in place that is doable. Connect with your teachers. Go on to the teachers are all on doing the videos and talking to you every day. Really, really important. And just do it. Just do your study plan, spend a bit of time, what you plan on doing for the week. Don't make it that you can't, don't make it too big. Make it doable. Mm-hmm. And just start the work. Just start.
I find time blocking is helpful where you break your day into different blocks of time.
Break your day down. Yes, absolutely. Break your day down and sit down and look at your plan and if you can set a routine. That a routine is fantastic, but a routine doesn't work for everybody. So it's work with what suits you. So if you're more an evening person that likes doing your work in the evening, do it in the evening. And if that's when the house is quieter, do it then. But if you're the type of person who likes to get up and get your day going, do what suits you, what's real for you. But do connect with your teachers every day. And I keep saying this because we all want to feel connected. We all want to feel part of something, and that's what drives us on, because we're all in it together.
And is that okay? Yeah, it does. And the power of what I call quick wins. So once you get a little win under your belt. Yeah. So whether that's just
you've read that piece of English that you hadn't read before the rest. Well done. You've read that piece of English. Now you have another piece done. Tick it off, and on to the next. And you know, if you've decided, okay, I'm going to do maybe an exam question today. Imagine getting through that exam question and going through it. That's another thing you've just achieved. And remember, they all add up. It's all the small pieces. Break it down into segments. It might feel all overwhelming at the moment. So break it down into segments. So one piece at a time, 10 minutes at a time, 5 minutes at a time, if that's what it takes. Mm-hmm. Do your piece, one piece at a time. Tick it off. Take a breath. Maybe walk around, do a little dance, as you said, whatever it takes to get the energy going, and sit back down. And again, it's really hard to get going again, but off you go and do another 10 or 50, 20 minutes. Off you go again and just keep breaking it up bit by bit. And then at the end of the day, it's like, wow, look how much I've done. And enjoy it and revel in it.
And it's when all those little bits add up, when you do the small things right, the big things happen.
Yes. Absolutely.
Jude, I think we'll finish on that note, and well done you for taking on the challenge of this interview, but thank you, and that's some fantastic advice. And I think just from the outset, just to remind everyone, look, there's a new opportunity here, there's still lots of time, and to remind students that this is very, very, very doable. It's a question of focus. Jude, thank you and well done.
Thanks, Ray. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.